My final con of 2016 was none other than Untitled Elite. Untitled Elite was one of my favorite small cons from last year and ended 2015 on a very high note. Is it still an awesome final chapter to an amazing year of cons? Untitled Elite was held once again at the Hyatt Regency O'Hare in Rosemont, Illinois. This is the same location where its larger brother, Anime Midwest, was held at. The only notable difference is that it doesn't use the Stevens Convention Center next door. The Hyatt Regency O'Hare has always been an incredible venue for this convention. It was a very beautiful location and was just the right size for this event. When you consider the fact that the Hyatt itself was not fully utilized for this event, this venue offers plenty of room for growth for this convention even before they consider using the convention center. The parking in Rosemont will cost money depending on location. For those commuting locally to the con, parking near the convention center will cost $15 a day, or if you don't mind the walk, you can park at the Rosemont station where parking costs as low as $5. Registration at Untitled Elite was blazing fast. Throughout my entire experience in this area, I have never seen any sort of registration lines at all. Untitled Elite excelled with the pre-registration. Just like Anime Midwest, a pre-registered attendee just had to scan their ID into the computer and they are able to get their badges instantly. And yes, this also worked for press badges. Now this method didn't work for all types of IDs such as Wisconsin IDs, but even without it, those attendees still got their badges very fast as well. One annoying thing about the AtCon registration was that it was cash only. The con actually directed people with card to go to the website and pay online. Or another way was to use the ATM machine the Hyatt provided. The real issue was that there was no warning, at least from my experience, on the con website or on social media that the AtCon registration didn't accept credit. I say moving forward, if such event happens again, that the con would tell us ahead of time. The organization at Untitled Elite this year was very good overall. I've attended several other conventions hosted by AnimeCon.org, and I felt that they've always had a good record with organization. If there was a notable issue regarding the con's organization, it was the main event scheduling on Saturday night. The Masquerade started very late, which pushed main events 60 to 90 minutes behind schedule. Luckily, the time gap between each main event was big, and the rave only started roughly 30 minutes late. But other than that, Friday and Sunday I felt were very well organized. The con also had a great staff. I felt that they were all very helpful and nice. Though I did notice that for some of the panels I attended, there was no staff member at the door checking for badges. I was able to go to certain guest events as well as the video game room without being asked to show my badge. What makes Untitled Elite stand out compared to other small cons are the amount of panels and events this con offered. Untitled Elite may be a small size convention, but don't let that fool you. The amount of panels this con offered rivaled that of cons of larger size. And they also had a very good mix of panels, from main events to fan panels, as well as all the guest panels. Another area that makes Untitled Elite stand out and very unique compared to other conventions is their con suite. This is a place where you can get free ramen, rice, bread, oatmeal, and soda. One of the worst things that could happen at a con is going very hungry. You don't have to worry about that at Untitled Elite. Those who want a quick snack at no charge will absolutely love the con suite. When it came to the guest lineup at Untitled Elite, I felt very split about it. First, let's talk about the good things. If this is your first time at this convention, then this is an amazing guest lineup. They had a great selection of voice actor, musical, and cosplay guests. And because Untitled Elite is a small con, you will have a better interaction with them unlike larger conventions. But if you've been going to this convention as well as Anime Midwest for years and were expecting to see new faces, then you will be very disappointed with this guest lineup. There were hardly any new guests this year. Only 2 of the guests were guests we haven't seen before. And it's not just me. Several people I spoke with all told me that the guest lineup is getting very repetitive. When it came to autographs, I felt that the autographs at Untitled Elite have improved over last year. One of my dislikes from last year's review was that the lines were in a very narrow hallway and the rooms were very tiny. This year, the autograph room was bigger and there was a lot more space to manage the lines. As far as getting autographs, you shouldn't have any problems getting autographs and photos from your favorite voice actors at this convention. But remember, autographs are first come, first serve. Be sure to line up early to secure your spot in line. The dealer's room and artist alley at Con Delete felt more of the same compared to last year, and that's not a bad thing. The size of the dealer's room and artist alley were big for a con of its size. It was once again located in the basement of the Hyatt, which in my opinion made the area feel like an underground shopping district. I especially loved the variety of merchandise and artwork the con brought to the table. I wasn't expecting to spend so much money at the dealer's room, but boy was I wrong this year. Another area Con Delete improved from last year was their video game room. Last year, the video game room was in a very tiny room in the basement of the Hyatt with hardly any walking space. But this year, the video game room was in a larger room and they had a lot more space to put stuff in there. iPlayGames hosted a great video game room for a small convention. I say that this was the best game room I've seen from them for the size of the con. They brought an excellent selection of console and arcade gaming and is truly a must-see at this convention. And finally, I would like to talk about the rave. I was only able to attend the Saturday rave, so please let me know in the comments what you thought about Friday's rave. From what I experienced, it was an incredible night. The lighting was very good and the music was awesome. The DJs I've experienced did an incredible job keeping the adrenaline high. It definitely set the mood that this is an amazing end of year of conventions. Before I get to my verdict, I would like to give a big shout out to everybody who have been watching my videos and following me on my Facebook page. 2016 has been a spectacular year for conventions. As of this review, I've reviewed a total of 14 cons in 2016. I would like to give a big thanks to all of you who support my channel and giving me very good and constructive feedback. You were the ones who kept my channel strong, and I hope to continue to get even better in 2017. Con Delete in 2016 was another solid year overall. It once again ended this year of convention strong. I'm very confident that this con is well prepared to become a mid-sized con in the coming years. The first thing I liked about Con Delete was the blazing fast registration. Never once had I seen a line during registration, and I also loved the ID scanning system they use for pre-registration. The next thing I liked was the con suite. One of the most unique things about Con Delete as well as Anime Midwest. Those new to these conventions should not miss out on the free food and soda. Con Delete just wouldn't be Con Delete without their con suite. I also liked the amount of panels the con brought to the table. Con Delete had tons of different panels for the size of the convention. The panels Con Delete offered could definitely fill up your schedule. Next is the rave on Saturday night. While it may have started late, it was still an amazing rave. The lighting and the music, as well as the amazing work of the DJs, made this a very fun night. I also really liked the video game room. Moving the video game room to a larger location was an awesome idea. iPlayGames did a fantastic job with this game room, and I felt it was definitely a step up from last year's. I also once again liked the dealer's room and artist alley. They blew me away last year, and it's no different this year. I don't normally say this about dealer's rooms at small cons, but remember to bring a lot of money for this dealer's room and artist alley, as there is a lot of variety to be found here. And the last thing I liked was the larger autograph area. This was my only dislike from last year's review, and I'm glad to see that this area improved. I wasn't a big fan of how the at-con registration was cash only at Con Delete. It was very unexpected and inconvenient for some people at the con. I was also disappointed with the guest lineup at Con Delete. While Greg, Chuck, DC, and Vic will always be amazing guests, there's always room for new faces at this event, and I felt that this wasn't the best year for new guests. I also didn't like how the main events on Saturday ran behind schedule, but to be fair, they did take action and worked hard to get everything back on track. And lastly, I didn't like how I wasn't asked to show my badge for some of the panels I went to. Those panels had no staff member at the door. That could definitely be a security concern in the future. Now, who do I recommend this con to? Untitled is a small-sized con with just under 4,000 attendees this year, and my recommended travel time to the convention is 4 hours or less. If you have never been to an anime con before, then Untitled is an excellent first con for newcomers. It has all the bells and whistles that larger cons have, but in a smaller package. As a small con, Untitled is a great con to hang out and meet new friends. The con is very laid back and is not as overwhelming as larger conventions. You will have plenty of opportunities to meet new people at this event. Untitled offers more panels than cons of its size, and even has as many panels as mid-sized conventions, so I also recommend this con to fans of panels. I also recommend Untitled to fans of guests. While I personally feel that the guest lineup is getting repetitive, those new to this convention will have a lot to love with this guest lineup. Untitled brings a lot of big names to this convention, and because it's a small con, you will have a better interaction with them. Those who love getting free autographs will love Untitled. The lines were nowhere near as huge as larger conventions. You shouldn't have any problems getting autographs at this con. And lastly, I couldn't forget the con suite. If you're a big fan of ramen, then Untitled is the con for you. Untitled had another great year in 2016 and is a great end-of-year con. People may call this con a mini anime Midwest, but as this con grows to a mid-sized con, that may no longer be the case anymore. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give Untitled 2016 an 8 out of 10. An excellent experience. Thank you guys for watching my final 2016 con review. If you like this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more con videos. Until then, I will see you at cons in 2017. This is Justin. Thank you for watching.